Hello and welcome to Glass Table Talks. I am Helena, but you can call me Lena, and I am your HHIC head hostess in charge for today's episode. And today we are going to be talking about money because all of us want it, all of us need it, but most of us don't have any, right? And when we do get it, a lot of us don't know what to do with it. We have terrible spending habits. And that leads to actually terrible credit. So your bad habits actually lead to bad credit because you don't know what to do when you get that almighty dollar. But today we are going to be speaking with Mr. Mike Collins of CSS Academy, and he is going to get us on the straight and narrow with our finances.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's definitely a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure to connect with like-minded individuals who are
Most definitely.
Definitely interested and concerned about the culture. I am a firm believer that our culture has a issue in terms of the dollars that we have at our disposal and what we do with that money. Again, my name is Mike Collins. I've been in finance and financial services for about a little over 20 years.
Right.
I am a FINRA registered Series 7, Series 24, Series 31, and Series 66 license.
So what does that mean? Break it down for us.
So those are basically stockbroker licenses. The Series 7 allows for me to, it's a general representative license. It allows me to do pretty much everything from a product standpoint. The Series 24 allows me to supervise every aspect of a broker dealer, whether it's trading floor, whether it's investment banking activities, whether it's branch office retail sales activities.
So that's a higher.
That's right. That's a principal level. I've been Series 24 licensed since about 2005.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
2005.
Right.
Series 31. It's I forget that license. It's not a really significant one. I got that one.
But I got it.
Yeah.
But I got it.
That's right. It's something with exchange traded funds, if I'm not mistaken. I've never really used it in the series. Yeah, but I got it. Yeah, and the Series 66 is a registered investment advisor. So I can, when I advise or when I'm sitting with a client or one of my brokers is sitting with clients, we can advise them on a fee basis versus a transactional commission basis. So I always tell people, if you are engaging with a financial services professional, particularly a financial rep, like an advisor, consultant, stockbroker,
individual, right?
That's right. Make sure that individual has one of three licenses. Okay, Series 66, because that person can charge you a fee,
right,
in lieu of a commission. That means if your portfolio, say, is 250,000, and that individual takes it to 300,000, then they'll get a raise because now the fee is at 300,000 versus 250.
Right.
So they need either a Series 66 or a combination 65, 63.
Okay. So this is what we're looking for when we go and we're looking to invest and we want a stockbroker and we're not quite sure where to navigate. There are certain licenses that they should have, just like what you have.
That's right.
Okay. So Mike, how long have you actually been in finances? What got you started? Were you like, out on the corner with the lemonade stand, hoarding all your pennies? Like, how did you, because some people are just born, you know what I mean? Born savers, born money people like that. And I'm not one. I get it. And it goes. Like, I don't know where it goes to. It just goes, and so I've never been able to, I'm not good at holding on to it. And so how did you actually come to be?
All right. It's funny you say that because so many people really are not good at, just being good at their money. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like you get your paycheck or you get some money that has come in from whatever source, and
Jack Black.
Hey, it's on and popping. It's time to do some stuff.
Yeah.
That's right. I get it. And it's funny because I was the same way. Even inside of my career, I've had issues in terms of what am I going to do with these dollars that I have, and am I going to make the best possible decision and choices with this money? It happens. For me,
it happens to.
It happens to the best of us. That's right.
The best of us. There was just somebody, the mayor of South Fulton County here in Atlanta just is getting his booty chewed because he used the government credit card at the end of 2021. That sounds like some Christmas presents. That sounds like a trick. That sounds like something he shouldn't have appropriated those funds for. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
So it happens.
That's right. It happens.
To the best of us. So
it surely does.
How do you actually turn it into a business? Like I said, were you with like lemonade stand? Were you tag sales? Were you newspaper boy? Like, how did you start your money hustle like that?
Yeah. So I saw the movie Wall Street. I thought it was
touche.
I saw the movie Wall Street, and I thought that movie was the most incredible movie I'd ever seen. This dude, he's walking down the street. He has on a suit. He has his briefcase. He has his big old block cell phone, and he is moving and shaking.
I want to be that.
Wow, I want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sometime in the 90s when I saw Wall Street.
That's big because a lot of kids see Michael Jordan. I want to be that. They see, not necessarily Pablo Escobar, but they see, drug dealing, that's easy money. I want to be that. You know what I mean? And so it's a different personality, mentality to
different
look
thought process, different approach.
To look at a suit and say, I want to be that.
I want to be that.
You know
that's
what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
That's maturity.
Yep. It was, and my mother used to have to stop me at the stock reports came out on Wednesdays. I think in USA Today. So she would have to stop me to a newsstand and I'd get a paper. And I taught myself how to read the quotes. Back then the quotes weren't, 34.75, which is $34.75.
Right.
It wasn't that way. It would have been 34 3/4. You see, so you had to kind of do the math and make sense of the 3/4.
Right.
So
right.
That was my intro into really being interested in what the capital markets were.
That's cool.
And I graduated high school in 92, went off to college, and toyed around with some other jobs, other careers and whatnot. But the idea of what I saw on Wall Street stayed not even in the back of my mind. It stayed in the front of my mind. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I live in a small community in Ocala, Florida, Central Florida. It's about, 45 minutes north
of Ocala? You said you're in Ocala?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's about 45 minutes north of Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's not I don't know. It's an odd community. It's a small southern community, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So, placism, in my opinion, really has a firm grip on my community. And the idea of me becoming a stockbroker was just unheard of. It was no African American stockbrokers.
Right. From this little Florida town.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. It's like, how in the world? What are you thinking? So I thought I could do it, and I did it. I knocked on every door. Every door told me no, and I ultimately got a tap on the shoulder from a. Well, so I ended out at Morgan Stanley, right? I walked in there, and it was a gentleman that I had known since elementary school. And come to find out, his uncle was the branch manager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As it would happen.
Right. So I'm thinking, hey, here it is. This is where I'm going to be. Right. So he says, look, Tinker will hire you, man. Just, get him your resume and that's that. And come to find out, my granddad cut his granddad's off for years. So I'm thinking, we all connected. This is gonna be the thing. Ain't gonna be no problem, right? So
right.
I get in there and he gives me a entrance exam, and he comes back with my results and he asks me, he says, "Well, how do you think you did?" I said, "I don't think I did well at all. I hadn't seen that stuff in, I don't know, since high school. This is 2000. I graduated in 92, so it's been a while, right?" So he says, "Yeah, well, you didn't do well at all, and because of that, right? We're not prepared to move forward with your application." There are some very smart people who put that test together, and it's their thought, if you can't pass that test, you won't pass your Series 7 on the first try. And as you know, we don't give second chances. It's a one pass, one fail rule. Right. He says, so maybe come back in a year and we can talk some more.
Brush up.
Or if you get your Series 7, come back. Right. And yep. And that was October.
And did you go get it?
That was it October? Yeah, it was October of 2000.
Okay.
So I leave there and I'm just dejected.
Deflated.
Man, I don't have,
dejected, deflated.
I ain't got no more fight in me. I'm wore out. And something said go to the barbershop, right? So I ended up at my barbershop and I'm sitting down in the chair and I'm thinking about what my next move is going to be.
All things happen at the barbershop. You get to talk, you get to vent it out.
Yep. And I'm thinking I got all of these thoughts going on in my mind, and something tells me to look up. And when I look up, I see this advertisement for financial planning, right? And I'm like, man, that's not what I want to do, but I need a job. So let me call this number and see what they say. So I call it. And this gentleman answers the phone, and I tell him what's going on, what's up. And he says, "Are you looking for work?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, you got a resume?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Bring it to me." So I brought it to him, and I'm thinking I'm just going to hand it to him. And he comes downstairs with his boss, and she interviews me right then. And she says, "Okay, I'd like for you to come back." So we set up another interview. She interviews me again, and she sets me up with an interview with her boss in Jacksonville. So I end up in Jacksonville. I go. Long story short, I get hired sometime in November, start in December, get my Series 7 books, because I didn't even know I was going to be studying for the Series 7 with it. Ended up studying for the Series 7. That started in first week of December, and I passed my Series 7 on the first try in February of 2001.
So did you go
I quit the next day. The firm that I was working for, I quit the very next day, right? That was on a Wednesday. I chilled out Thursday, Friday, hung out the weekend. Monday morning, I got up and I put on my best suit. It was a little brown, little polyester thing. I had these little fake gaiters. And I walked into Morgan Stanley with no appointment and asked to speak to the branch manager. He comes around the corner. He sees me and he's like, what are you doing here? Right. Sticks his hand out to shake mine, and I stick my proctor in his hand. And he looked at it. He felt for the seal. He saw that I'd passed, and he messaged me to come on. And I went to work for Morgan Stanley. Yep. And I stayed with them for 5 years.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I missed the September 11th attacks by 3 weeks. I was 62nd floor, Tower 2. Yep.
So there was a reason. So
Oh
all
yeah.
of so
Yep.
all of your
Yep.
experience, because you've got a great success story there. How have you seen that we create our own mess? How do you how do you see?
Oh.
Because I'll tell you, when I get some money in my hand, you know, I've gone from the ninja rich thinking, and I don't just think about, oh, what
Mhm.
can I buy? I think about me paying my bills first. That's actually what
That's
as
good.
I've
That's
matured,
good.
I've gone
Mhm.
and I've I try to pay my bills down first. I try to pay the one with the highest credit. I mean, with the highest, interest
Interest
rate
rate.
and all,
Yep.
I
Hmm.
try to be
Hmm.
mindful of all of that. But there are times,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
when that
I get it.
vacation is
Hmm.
calling and or them new shoes are calling, and instead of paying your bills, like when we got all that stimulus money,
Hmm.
and
Or
so
buy you an index fund, to
and
let your
so
money grow
now
for you. Yeah.
right, and so now they're crying that there's too much spending right now, and that's what inflation is doing. There's too much spending going on. There's too
Hmm.
much money out there because we got too much money in our pockets, and they
That's right.
burning a hole in our pockets, right?
It
Like
is.
for
It is. It is.
real.
I think
So
and the funny thing about the inflationary period that we're in right now, I promise
right,
you, it wouldn't be a thought about it. It wouldn't be a mention if gas prices weren't where they were.
correct,
Yeah,
correct,
it,
correct.
it
And
wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a. It'd be so what? Inflation is over 4% now. Oh my God.
it's not
We
because
still
it's
gonna go
not
out there. Nah,
affecting
it's not
right
affecting us.
the
That's right.
average person
Oh, it's
unless
killing the average person.
something like the gas
Hmm.
or the food. And
Hmm.
then, so we find ourselves now scrambling. So all that money that we were like,
Yep.
whoa, you know what I mean? Before with stimulus and we got all kinds of bonuses and whatnot. Now we're stuck.
And
And
I tell people all the time. Now is the time to jump in the market, right? At
because
prices
everything's low,
that's
because
right.
everything's low.
And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say this or say something similar to this.
Right.
I'll invest in the markets when the market is doing better.
Oh,
Makes
that's
sense,
not,
right?
no, no, no. You
Oh,
want
I'm
to
a,
get it while
you.
it's
That's right.
low.
When it's doing bad,
Because you
you.
can pay less, and then when it goes
That's
up,
right.
you get more for it, right?
That's right. That's
I
right.
got you. But the average person,
Doesn't think that way.
and let's talk about our cousins
That's right. That's
because
right.
we have this mentality. I think it's so, and I call it the ninja rich. You get that ninja rich feeling because you got a little quick come up, you got a little jackpot, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, you start thinking about
I'm
I
balling.
I haven't had any money. I ain't smelt no money, felt nobody, seen no money. Now all of a sudden I got some money and I'm burning and I got to do
I'm gonna
something
hang
with
out.
it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we've got these bad habits though,
Oh,
our
horrible,
bad habits. And
horrible.
then what happens to we'll talk about our credit when we get into these bad habits, because then our credit affects our entire life. Then you
The
can't get
mushrooms.
a light turned on in your house because you can't qualify, right, for the
That's right.
utility company. You or your deposit is astronomical
Yep.
because your credit is bad, or you can't rent an apartment. You know what I mean? You can't get a house or refinance your house, a car, a skateboard, nothing.
Insurance,
Oh my
employment.
God, car insurance, health
Yeah,
insurance
yeah.
is connected to your credit, which is connected to your habits,
That's
your
right.
money habits, your money
That's right.
habit. So, as the Wolf of Wall Street, a lot of people, at that level, they've got money that's a little more expendable. They got a little more elbow room. But there are us regular folks that really don't have, they say you can't get blood from a stone, from a turnip, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
and so we have to configure our thinking to our budget. We can't have champagne tastes on that parade or that beer budget, right? Because
That's right.
in Atlanta, I almost call it the Velvet Ghetto, like my godfather used to call it. You got people driving Hummers, Beamers, Mercedes, and they living in some raggedy ass apartment. Like,
dead broke.
Disconnect. There's a disconnect with us, with money, and we have such bad habits when it comes to that. What in your experience, your Wall Street experience, your money experience, because you follow the money, and I'm sure you follow people's money and you help, when they're, even though they might be stockbroken, I'm sure you give them pointers, advice, you know what I mean, or whatever. What have you found to be maybe like the top 3 to 5 like bad habits that we have with money? Because I know what mine are. Can you think of anything off the top?
Yep. I can tell you the trip about credit. Honestly, most people become over indebted.
Yeah.
Okay, they become over indebted on their credit cards and on their personal loans in most cases, and that is a recipe for a bad financial situation at some point. What I see when me or when my advisors especially are talking about their clients, and not necessarily from a credit standpoint, but just from a how does the individual do better? It's particularly us. How do we do better with the dollars that we have control over? Right.
Right. Well, that's a new song. Cash in, cash out. Cash in, cash out. Cash in, cash out. We got to navigate that.
Yep. One of the first things is impulsive behavior. Right. Impulse behavior. You got this money in your bank account. It's so easy to access because it's on a debit card or a credit card or whatever, and everybody takes that plastic and you see them, you got to have them, and you swipe it, and it's of little to no consequence to you until it's of consequence to
you. You don't realize, I call it nickel and diamond it. You nickel and dime and you swipe, and then you're like, where did all my money go?
Oh, man, I did it too big on that one. I should have watched myself. So impulse behavior.
Says everybody at the end of the month.
Yep. Impulse behavior definitely is a. I tell people this, right? If you're gonna improve your personal finances, you have to manage your personal finances by the minute in some cases, by the second in some cases, by the day, by the week. Look at your budget. Maybe first thing you do while you're having your coffee, take a look at what you plan to spend for the day, and that's it.
Right.
That's
so
it.
Set a daily budget maybe for yourself.
Set a daily budget, and whatever. So if your budget is $50, $60, whatever the case may be, and let's say you spend, if it's $60 and you spend $40, take that 20, right? Because you've already allocated it. Take that 20 and put it somewhere else so you don't touch it, and then at some point leverage it. That's right.
That's one of the things I wound up doing. At the end of the month, I treat my bank account. This is kind of weird. Like I don't even know, but at the end of the month, because I'm a disabled vet, so I fixed income. I get paid once a month. So
thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you. At the end of the month, whatever I have left over, I move that over, and then I start new. So I tuck that whatever I have left over. Like I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, and that's how I've tried, but it's taken maturity to do that.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of self-control, because those impulse buys. My son just asked me, "Hey, Mom, I'm hungry. Can we order Chick-fil-A?" You know what I mean. And instead of conveniently me driving my booty over to go get it, so now I'm paying a convenience fee and I'm paying a tip. To somebody else, and that's extra money, right? That's bad. That's a bad habit that I've fallen into, that convenience thing now.
Yep. So, managing that impulsive behavior first. Okay. Having sometimes our biases can create issues inside of our budget, our spending.
Right.
Definitely be mindful of your thoughts with regard to your money.
Right.
I think we have, our culture has a real issue uh, with how we present ourselves when we walk outside of our door, and that costs us a lot of money. I mean, it costs us an obscene amount of money. Our
All that
thoughts
flexing and
oh
flossing and gotta have
oh
the latest this
oh
and the
those types
latest
of
that
biases,
and
man. It's a
keeping
killer
up
to
with
you.
the Joneses.
That's right. They're trying to look rich. It kills you. It will kill you from a financial growth and development standpoint.
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely making sure that those biases are well maintained and under control.
So we
Uh,
got impulse buys and we got keeping up with the Joneses.
no
Are
doubt
two
about it.
bad,
No doubt about it.
bad
And
habits.
and
Yes.
keeping up with the Joneses can go even further, because when you start thinking about the group that you exist in, your buddies, your homies, your
You're
girls, and all
always
that.
trying to one up.
Oh, you always, and that right there is a
Who got the
recipe for
latest and
financial disaster.
greatest?
That's right.
Who got the
It is
latest and
a
greatest?
it is a recipe for financial disaster. I always tell people, listen, if you want to really be dedicated and focused and serious about your finances, you need to look at every aspect of your money. You need to look at what you got control over. You need to look at how much you got coming in. You need to
You
look at
can
how much is
have
going out.
you can
You
still
need to
have an
pay.
entertainment budget.
Oh yeah, I always tell people,
You can still
listen,
have a
set
play
aside fund in your
budget.
budget. That's right, but just don't do it
You
every
gotta
week.
budget it in. It can't
That's
be
right.
just
That's
play
right.
and then whatever I got left over I put to the bills. You
That's
know,
right.
like it
That's
gotta
right.
be work first,
That's right.
play later.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
And we got
And
a bad habit of
oh,
that.
we bad at it. We are horrible with it. I mean,
Yeah.
we are number one consumers in this America. Number
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
It's
We are.
terrible.
We
But
are.
only
We are.
yeah, and it's sad because over 80% of the culture ain't gonna be able to retire comfortable.
Right.
Over
80% of the
80%.
culture is trying to emulate that 20.
That's right.
Is
And,
what
and
it is.
it is going to be disastrous if we don't get a hold on that
You're right.
ASAP. You know.
You're right. You're right.
Uh,
So what other bad habit can you think of that is something that we do? We've got our impulse buying, we got keeping up with the Joneses.
uh,
I
you
would
mentioned one
go what? What
earlier,
did I say?
self-control.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yes. That is and that's on all aspects though,
Mhm, mhm,
because people these days act like they ain't got no home training.
mhm.
Every time you turn on the news, people have lost their friggin' minds. So it's like if they don't have stability in their home life or in their mind, in their whatever going on, you know what I mean? Like everything is in turmoil, including the finances, or maybe the finances being in turmoil is what made them go, you know what I mean, is what
Mhm.
caused them to panic. But yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Self-control, and we can, like you said, self-control goes into every aspect of our lives. Yeah, so that's definitely something that
Do
we
you
have to.
think it do you think it's because, and I'll just say it like this, as us, we're so used to not having
Yes.
that when we finally get it, we're just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't know what to do with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if you think about, our other cousins on the other side, they are a lot more financially literate. They are starting accounts, funds, and whatnot for
It,
their
it, it,
children when they're
and,
small.
and keep in
Things
mind too, now our other cousins, they have a huge advantage over us. They have in some cases generational wealth that's being
right,
passed down to them. They have trust funds that they can go into to uh, fund a house.
Right.
So they have to worry about banking standards and all that. They just pay their trust fund. You know, it's so many things.
But a mindset though.
Oh.
I mean, it's that. I mean, I'm talking about they're actually instead of giving gifts, instead of somebody giving you a diaper genie for your baby shower, these folks are giving you like, educational funds or bonds or whatever to, you know what I mean? Like it's a different mindset. It's just different to me. Where they're not giving you the latest little tiny baby Jordans that your baby gonna outgrow so you can hang from the, from the rear view mirror. They're
That's
giving
right.
you like substantial, but that's what I mean. It's the mindset, whether they have it or not. I think the actual financial literacy part, period, is more prevalent in other societies
Sure.
that it is in Black culture.
And that for us, that is a real lack of overview or perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are these?
I mean, I know that's an overgeneralization.
Oh no. The thing is, we don't. I don't want to say take our dollars serious.
You're right. We don't think it's important. Say it like you mean it. We don't think it's important. So how many little white kids, when they go to school, they got a freaking college fund, or they mom and daddy done put something aside for them, and us, we looking at our kids like, you better get a student loan because I ain't paying for it.
Then you walk out of college and debt up to your eyes and all that.
Out of college, out of school. Thank God for the military. I was $138,000 in debt for student loan.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. Like that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like that's some people's like whole mortgage. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. And so we don't teach, we don't instill. Why don't we teach that financial literacy? Why
we don't
why,
teach?
Why are we scared of it?
And for the life of me, I don't understand why. I can tell you this, from a financial services industry standpoint, we certainly aren't represented enough.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We aren't. My training class at Morgan Stanley had about, I don't know, 300 people, right? 300 individuals. It was me, three brothers, and this young lady. 4 of us.
That's what I'm saying about Fabio.
Yep. It was amazing. I'm thinking, wow, we don't have
the disparity.
Right. And I can't say we don't have, because we're not knocking on those doors either. You think about it. I'm in Ocala.
It's important. A lot of times we think of as a culture overall, we think of the here and now, the right now, the instantaneous. Mm-hmm. We don't think of the long run. Let me leave something for my children. We thinking about, I'm gonna take it all, I'm gonna spend it all before I die. They ain't getting nothing. You know what I mean? Like we have a different mentality than the other the counterpart cultures, and I don't understand.
We have to do better. I can tell you that. You look at our it's insane, really. And you look at our household net worth as a culture, and on average, our household net worth is around 20,000. 20,000, and that's horrible. That is horrible. And when I think about some of the things that we have to do day one to improve that, like with my program, my Finance Academy program, the first thing is to get you comfortable with money, because a lot of us really aren't comfortable with it. We make it, and we so fast to give it away. We don't love it like we say we do.
Comfortable with having it.
We're not comfortable with it. So we got to figure out.
Right.
That's right. So my program directs individuals to, let's get you on a course and a path to create some extra income in your house. So if you are a single income household, let's add a side hustle. If you are a multi-income household already, let's add another source. Let's add possibly two sources. Let's
Right. And when you
let's,
do the
let's
side hustle, that helps bring your tax liability down because it eats up.
everybody who has a 9 to 5 should have a 5 to 9. Everybody.
Especially if they are single, because y'all get no breaks, no
That's right.
tax breaks. So in order
That's
to
right.
eat up some of that tax liability, it is best
Yep.
to have a side
Yep.
hustle. But these are the things that I think we're so used to, that old, and I hate to say it, that old backwoods slave mentality where we want
Mm-hmm.
to keep the money under the mattress or
Mm-hmm.
in a mason jar out in, dug up underneath the tree somewhere. We don't, as a culture, I don't think we really trust the establishment, trust. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like a whole embedded type. And so if we're
But
not trusting of it, we're not going to put our money in it. You see what I'm saying?
and
Because we don't know a
it,
lot about it.
that's
So
right. And that goes back to not having enough of us in the industry that are out in the community saying, "Hey, listen, don't do that."
representative, right?
Instead of going out to the spot every Friday or Saturday, why don't you go out to the spot maybe once a month? You know, stay out of the mall,
Oh, but
especially
then
if you
they
know the
can't be
mall is
out
going
there.
through.
Well, then they can't be out there TikToking, and you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? If they only go
yeah,
once a month, it's a
yeah.
priority thing. Where
That's
are
a
your
priority. No
priorities
doubt.
at?
No doubt. But like I said, the numbers that I see are just scary. They are
Staggering.
frightening to death.
Yeah.
Um, in my let's see, I went into management in '06,
Okay.
and from '06 until now, I've only managed two uh, African American gentlemen and only recruited one uh, African American gentleman.
Talking about lack of inclusivity in an industry, and I think
And I,
it's because of money. We're
well,
scared
very scared. And that was the
of
point I was going to
money.
make. I've had conversations with individuals, both men and women, uh,
Right.
you know, culture.
Right.
And when they all love the idea of the title investment advisor, financial consultant, stockbroker. But when they get into the nuts and bolts of what the work is, they tend to shy away. And that
That's
fear,
but that is even, I even say that in small business. Everybody wants to own a small business until it fucking gets hard. And
you
you
got to do the work.
actually got to put in some work. And then they like, well, I don't think I'm going to like
Yeah,
this business no more. I'm going to try
yeah,
something different.
yeah, yeah.
No,
Until you got to do the work.
it's the
Yep.
mindset, period.
Mhm.
If you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter what you go into.
Mhm.
You're going to
I
keep
wish
the
that.
same bad habits of
Yeah.
impulse, of keeping up with the Joneses, and the lack of self-control. So no matter if you have those three things instilled in you just in general, it doesn't matter what venture you try. It doesn't matter whether you do it in your personal life with managing your own home life and house and your bills and stuff, or you're managing a corporation. If you don't have those three things in check, it's going to destroy.
That's going to be over.
It's
It, it,
all
it,
going to
it,
come tumbling
yeah, you're
down.
going to constantly be playing catch up, and then at some point you're going to go in the hot,
You're
and
going to
that's when you're
rob
going to have to
Peter to
start.
pay
That's
Paul.
right, selling your stuff and trying to.
And
That's right.
that's what people get caught up with embezzlement, right? And if
Uh,
y'all
that-
don't know, can you tell people tell them what exactly embezzlement is for y'all small business owners who are out there using funds that you're not supposed to be using funds for? Go ahead and tell these people what embezzlement is, please.
well, so embezzlement, we don't really see much of that on my side of the business. We really don't. So to think about embezzlement, are you still there?
Yeah, I hear you. What
Can
I'm
you hear me?
saying is, I want you to tell them exactly what it is, because when we're doing this impulse, keeping up with the Joneses, we not are we crossing lines.
Embezzling from yourself.
we messing up. You see what I'm
So,
saying? We crossing
yeah,
lines. And
yeah.
so we got to
So
stay in those
embezzlement,
lanes.
basically, it is the misappropriation of
Come on,
funds that
say it,
that you
say
have
it.
at your disposal. You've done something with that
That are
money that
allocated
it
for,
something else. Yep, and that's embezzlement.
yes, and that is embezzlement. So y'all, small business owners out there, okay, not the ones that are sole proprietors because you're using your social security number. So that's a little bit different. That though that money is flowing in and out of your tax form on a 1040 right underneath your social security number. But you people who are small business owners with an EIN, who have designated funds or monies coming in and out of your business, that cash in, cash out, that cash flow out of your business. That is not your personal playground. That is your business
That's your
playground.
business money.
That's your
That's right.
business playground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like you do in your personal life with not ordering Chick-fil-A for your son when he wants something and paying it, you know what I mean? That impulse buy, that keeping up with the Joneses because you want that new improved Tesla, or you want the new Kia with the new symbol on it because you don't want the old one, but it's the same car. You know what I'm saying? Because we all about how it looks. We're keeping up
Oh,
with the
our
Joneses.
thoughts and viewpoints and images of ourselves and how we present to the
is
rest of the world.
is
It's terrible.
materialistic,
Oh,
isn't
it's
it though?
terrible.
And then that self-control. So if
Yep.
you're not implementing those three things, that impulse buying, cutting that down, keeping up with the Joneses, just because somebody got a new car or a new pair of sneakers don't mean you got to get that too. Just because somebody went ahead and got a new laptop for their business, don't overstretch yourself and go ahead and try to keep up with the Joneses. Stay in your lane. Be comfortable with your money.
Yep.
And Mike Collins right here of CSS Academy can help you with that. Right, y'all? They
Yep.
can hit you, right, Mike? They can hit you
Sure.
up if they
Yep.
have questions on even maybe being accountable to themselves with their money. Just
Mm-hmm.
all things financial
It's
related, because it's so taboo to us.
well, and and it's funny you say that it's the fact that it's so taboo to us. It's so new. Certain aspects of it, of
Yeah,
of
yeah,
money. I always tell people, listen, if you want to do this on your own, if you want to go out there and you want to manage your accounts,
right.
manage your retirement accounts, things like that, when it's time to retire and all that good stuff, then good luck to you. Uh, I've been in the business for over
Right,
20 years, and I promise you, it's
right,
something that I learn new
right.
every day.
It's
Um,
constantly moving. It's like
Constantly.
oh, I'm gonna pull my own teeth because I saw it on a YouTube video once. Like
That's
there
right.
are, you know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Now I can pull my own teeth, and I'm good with it.
You
It's
can't
insane.
do do your
So
own appendix surgery. It can't do it. There's certain,
yeah,
know your limitations.
yeah, and
Know
I
your
get
limitations.
people's fears, about,
Yes,
well,
yes.
how do I select the right person? It's not complicated,
Right,
especially
right.
in the
Because you
world of
always
finance and
feel
financial services.
like scammed, because
That's right.
we're so used to being like, I see something, I
Handled
want
and
it, I
mishandled
buy
and
it, it's right here in my hand, it's tangible. When you start talking about stocks, bonds, ARPs, and percentages and fractionals and that's not tangible. We can't. It's not
Mhm.
something you can physically grasp, and so we
And it
don't
scares
really
us.
subscribe to that
Mhm. Yep.
because
And it scares us.
it's not a tangible thing. And it's
That's
sad
right.
and it does need to change. And y'all, again, Mike can help you out. Mike, it has been an absolute pleasure. I want to thank
Likewise.
you so much for imparting your wisdom.
My pleasure.
Y'all, we have our very own Wolf of Wall Street right here with series 8, 9, 12, 96, and 392.1. He got them all.
Yep.
He got them all. He passed that series 7, he said, on the first try.
First try. Yep. Even after I was
Got
told I wasn't
hired.
going to pass it on the first
He's
try
getting
now.
hired on the spot. by big ass companies, y'all. He's got it going on. This is a trustworthy man. Go ahead, hit him up. Hit up CSS Academy, and Mike will get you straight in your finances. At least set you on a path.
Set you on a path.
Help you on a path. How about that? We can at least say you can at least set him on a path.
That's right. And our program, CSS, covers everything. It covers how to go out there and start your own business, start to finish, right? It teaches you how to put things in perspective from a credit and budgeting standpoint, how to make those two work together. It gives you information on how to repair your own credit, not pay some other company $400 or $500, thousands of dollars, but how to do it yourself. That's right. How to leave a legacy, and then how to look at the capital markets as ways to grow your money.
I love it. I absolutely love it, y'all. So here he is right here. More info at css.academy, or they can also hit you up. What's your website, hun? Because I know you got one.
Should I put it in the chat box or?
No, tell them what it is, and then I'll put it in the thing also. Go ahead and tell the people what it be.
It's www.css.academy, no.com. Just www.css.academy, and that's it. And that'll take you straight.
All right, y'all. Go ahead and hit them up, and we will get y'all on that right track. Thank you so much, Mike. It has been a pleasure.
It was my pleasure.
You have a wonderful day, and we will see you back here shortly.
All right. Thank you. Great for having me.
All right. Bye now.